Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be sharing some influencer sites that I have used, some paid, some gifted stuff, just some apps. Really, I love to use them because it allows me to continue to produce content within my niche, especially when I'm kind of like, I don't know what to post. These type of boxes and gifts and things of that nature allows me to continue to post content. So I thought I'd share with this because I know there's a few videos on this, but I feel like, especially for like small content creators, if you have like 1,000 or less, or even 2,000 sometimes, it just depends on, we kind of get overlooked because we don't have a bigger following. So hopefully like these can help you. Now I will say, disclaimer one, I'm not saying that these would definitely give you stuff. Some of them that I mentioned will not probably give you a collab right away. Understand that, because some of them I still haven't gotten a collab from. So it just depends on the platform. One, it depends on what the brand is also looking for, because it can be a situation where, like for me, for example, because a lot of the collabs that I've gotten so far are actually not from these sites. They're more so from brands actually physically reaching out to me through my email. And without further ado, I'm gonna get straight into it. So the first one I have is Intellifluence. Now I'm gonna be honest, like when I first got it, I was really on it, and then I started slacking, more so because I noticed, I don't know if it's because of my following or is it because of the certain brands that they have on there, but I noticed like I would actually apply for stuff that were sometimes within my niche, most of the time within my niche, and then like either get denied or whatever for whatever reason. So I don't know if it's a follower thing, because normally they sometimes don't even tell you like why they didn't accept you. It's just like they just not, because basically how Intellifluence works is and I'll leave the names of everything down below, maybe not. Intellifluence, pretty much they give you like, it's kind of like a transaction. So they'll list like a bunch of, like, it's basically a campaign website, influencer campaign website, which is a lot of them that I'm going to mention today. So they'll give you a list of different stuff. So you get to make your own profile, and within that profile, like all these other influencer apps, you add all your social medias, and then they total that in and say, okay, you have a total following of, let's say 2,000, whatever. And from there, you can also put on there like a bio, so they can know like who you are and what you're about. You also get to pick categories. I think it's up to 5 or 6 if I'm not mistaken. After that, you can't pick any more of all the categories that they have that you can select. After that, you also can click, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's something else. Oh, you can choose if you want to do paid or gifted. I just do both because sometimes, you know, it doesn't hurt to get free stuff. Like I said, also as well, if you're running out of content idea, which happens to me sometimes, those free boxes definitely come in handy, especially if it's something that you wanted to try, or something in your niche that you're like, oh, this is cool, I wanna do a review on this. It comes in handy. Now, I'll be honest, the only like things that I've gotten so far that I've applied to were from Intellifluence themselves. 2 campaigns that they were running that I did, and she got paid. Now you do get paid, and you get paid, and you also sometimes, some brands will just gift you free products, they won't pay you. Now I will say this, there's the payout fee, I believe is $25 or $20, I can't remember. I'll leave the correct amount though down below, because I can't remember. I know it's in the 20s, so if you don't even reach that, you can't basically get your payout. That's pretty much how it works. So once you list your categories is how all the recommendations for all the different campaigns you want to apply to will pop up. So I've played around with it where I change it, so because maybe I don't like this category, like what it's showing me, and then it'll change. If you go back to like that transaction area, it'll change and you'll see different ones. So yeah, that's one. So I think it's worth a try. It depends on your niche, I feel like, as well, because sometimes like there's a lot of, if you put family, you'll see like things for like babies or things like that. It's just different ones. Technology, sometimes it'll be some headphones. Like one time I saw Bluetooth headphones, but I didn't do it because I was like, I have headphones anymore. I mean, I have headphones already, so like it just depends on what you're looking for. The next one is Influence Co. Now, Influence Co, I did have, I think, 2 brands reach out to me, 2 of which I didn't actually continue with the campaign, being that One of them, I just didn't think I was going to use their product. Again, that's why I said it's very important. If you know you're probably not going to use the product, don't accept something. So so that was one. And the other one, I was going to do it, but then shortly thereafter I realized the brand, so the brand thought, like, I guess that I had a child or something, and I didn't. So I was like, oh, okay. I thought the brand was just for anybody with natural hair type, but it wasn't. It was, their product was specifically for children. So I was like, of course, well, unfortunately I'm gonna have to decline that, obviously, because I don't have a child. So it made no sense for me to promote that. So far I've only had 2 really things. Now with Influence Co, I think as your following grows, you're probably gonna more likely get more people. I have applied to some campaigns. I know one of them, again, I got denied for. And that's the thing also, you gotta keep that in mind, because a lot of these campaigns, while you may have the following, you may meet the criteria, because some of them, they'll tell you the criteria. Well, actually, in Influence Co, like, they have a standard thing, like, they tell you what type of niche they're looking for. They tell you the follower, if there is or isn't a following limit, because some of them tell you there's no following limit, anybody can promote the products. They'll tell you what type of content they want, so whether it's a TikTok video, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, they'll tell you all of that. Like, all that's already aligned. Then you have to go and apply, and in your applying, that's very important. You need to have like a message that you tell them, like, hi, my name is so and so, I do this, so and so. I can't remember her channel name right now. I don't know, like, slipped my mind, but I will leave it down below. She did a great video not too long ago. I believe it was last month or the month before that, and I was watching it and I took down notes on basically how to properly write a email. But I feel like that video will work well in hand of writing a message to a brand. Just something, you don't want to make it long, but just something short, at least, especially when you're doing those. I feel like it should be a little shorter, explaining like who you are, what's your niche, why you're even applying to their campaigns, because you're just not just applying because I want free money. It should actually be that, you know, you can see your brand working with them because X, Y, and Z. Or there's like, you love beauty products, or you love trying vegan-based products. I'm just giving an example. Like, there has to be a why and a reason why you're applying to their thing. And sometimes I find like some brands don't even reply back. Some brands do. So it's just, that's the thing about with influencing, at least as a smaller content creator. Now the bigger ones, you know, they have brands reaching out to them. They don't have to do all that work of, you know, pitch. Basically, that's what it's called, is pitching. So it's like you're pitching a email or you're pitching a message or an email. Because in that pitch, same thing with the interviewer, like you're pitching something because they want to make sure, like, and see, like, okay, is this person that we want for this collab, or however it works. So that's Influence Co. And same thing with Intellifluence, but I find that Influence Co is a little more updated because they also have an area where you can network with other content creators. Whereas Intellifluence, you just have your profile, that's it, and you just see all the different campaigns. Influence Co is more of like community based, so you can also follow other influencers if you want to in your same niche. You can follow brands in your same niche as well. So there's multiple ways. And also what I like about Influence Co, there's other stuff now I'm thinking about, so I just want to make sure I'm giving you guys all the details about these platforms just so that you're aware. Influence Co, another benefit of Influence Co is that you're allowed to put what is known as branded content. So branded content doesn't necessarily have to be a sponsored content that you did for a brand. It can simply be you wearing or highlighting a certain brand. So for example, I'm going to use Forever 21 as an example, because I don't know how many times I've tagged them and stuff, but you know, they never reach out to me. It's fine though. But Forever 21 is a good example. So like what I did was, when you do the branded content, and they show you how it goes, but when you do the branded content, you put at the name and then it will pop up. And so like I have a few branded content of different stuff that I've highlighted, whether it was a skincare mask, whatever it was, just so that if anybody, especially if a brand is coming towards my page, they can see some of the work that I've done. They also, on those branded content, it actually shows your likes and your engagement rate too. And Influence Co shows your engagement rate, and you know, nowadays engagement rate, unfortunately, is a big part of also brands saying, okay, I want to work with this person. So your engagement rate has to be up there. That's another thing too to take into account. So that's what influence code. Now, if you have a YouTube channel, you're allotted to add videos as well. Now, sometimes I forget, I'm not gonna lie, to add the new videos, but I think I have 2 videos on there currently. It's kind of like on a case-by-case basis when I remember. And the videos that I choose, I specifically chose them because I wanted those videos to shine through, so that brands, like either those brands or brands, maybe they're fashion brands or whatever different brands it is, that they can see, oh, this has high ratings, she has good views on this, and thing. Because I feel like you should also put the content that you're doing well with. I don't know, I don't think anybody would ever put content where they have like one like, you know what I mean? You're gonna put the content that you have a lot of views on and stuff like that. At least that's what I think you should do. That's what I do. Okay, so that's influence code. There's a lot to go. And I feel like there's more, like you can add a media kit. And if you don't know what a media kit is, I don't know if I'm the person to tell you guys how to do it, but it's pretty simple though. You can make your own. I made my own through Canva, and it's pretty much another kind of like pitch, but not really. It's kind of like probably like, the best way to say it's like a resume for influencers, where you kind of like, you list your name, you list all your socials, you list like basically again kind of like showing, okay, how many views you have, how many engagement, like so they have a field like what's your engagement rate like. It's not only about your following, and then also your demographics, which I just learned to add. So I added it, your demographics, meaning like age range, and also male and female, how many males, how many females engage with content. That's also a factor as well that somebody was mentioning that brands look at as well, because maybe they're looking for a certain target market, and if they see that, for example, 98% of my following is around, and they're looking for ages 16 to 20, and they see that around my following is around there, they're more likely to kind of draw into me, because I personally draw more to people of that age range. Also, being around, well, I'm not in the 16 to 20 age range, but I'm just giving an example, me being around and closer to that age range. So yeah, the next one is activate. Now I just literally, so I forgot I even created this account. This is what happens when you make multiple accounts. So it was not only the only reason why I remembered it, because they sent me an email. My email was like, oh, connect your social media accounts. And then when I connected it, all of a sudden like a bunch of campaigns just popped up. So again, that's the thing, following clearly matters, because if you don't have, at least on that platform, it matters. Some brands, again, like I said, I've been reached out via email to work with brands as well. So I'm not saying like these, like you must stick to this. I feel like also it comes with trying to make sure that you have quality content as much as possible, bringing value. As I've said, I have a whole video on this, so I don't want to dwell on it. You guys can check it up. My encouragement for YouTubers and content creators, I'll leave it up below. But that also comes with it. But with Activate, there's kind of like bigger brands on there that I noticed. So like I saw Coach, I saw, what was the other brand? I can't remember. But they had some bigger brands, and they also had some, I feel like, micro brands on there. I did apply for 2 last weekend. So I don't know, my fingers are crossed that, they reached back out to me, and both were actually paid collaborations. Some of these brands will give you a good amount of money, at least to me, for somebody who's a small content creator. I think that's a good amount of money when I see the numbers. So yeah, so it's kind of like me just continuing to apply to different ones in hopes that somebody decides like, hey, you know what, we want Abigail to do a campaign. Because a lot of the campaigns that I've done in the past, a majority of them are gifted products. So while yes, they liked me, my brand, or whatever the case may be, it wasn't like I was getting paid for it. I was just doing it for free, which I don't mind. But I feel like, again, as I continue to grow, it's kind of like now it's like everything can't be gifted. And while I do like to do gifted stuff, I feel like there also should be some paid collaborations coming here and there as well. And keep in mind also, that's why a lot of some of us as brand they call it, as content creators, we have affiliate links, not because we're just trying to make sure that everybody buys, but also that's another way of us monetizing our channel, because sometimes we may not get anything. Some of the links too that we may not get commission on. It just depends. Sometimes I just have referral links, but I don't necessarily get anything. So it just depends on the brand. But that's how Activate works. I'm still pretty new, like I said, to the platform. I honestly forgot. Like, I feel like I've applied to so many influencer platforms that sometimes I forget like which ones I have. And so yeah, when they shot me that email, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't remember. The thing I said was like, oh, I remember the name of this platform, but I don't remember like what it looked like. But like I told you guys, immediately when I connected my YouTube and my Instagram, all of a sudden like a bunch of campaigns popped up. And I guess because I have a thousand whatever following on both of those platforms, so I guess that hyped up my social media, and then that was able to hike it up, I guess. But I think they also look at your engagement rate for those as well. I personally do not like the engagement rate. I feel like engagement rate should not be a part of, in my opinion, as a small content creator, because I noticed, like, of course, if you have a small following, you might not necessarily have the biggest engagement rate. Like some of these bigger YouTubers or content creators who have like 10,000 plus likes, like, you're probably not going to have that, and I think that's a little unfair, but that's just what I think. So hey, that's how the influencer market works, and that's how it is. Your engagement rate has to be up there. The next thing is Supergreat. Now Supergreat, I have not used it often. Pretty much it reminds me of Influencer because it's kind of like a beauty platform and they send you boxes. Now here's what's different, and here's why I haven't been too much on the app, which I'll go back to eventually. Like, I go ever so often, but I haven't been as active. What Supergreat is, how it works is a coins-based system. So for example, let's say there's a serum or something that's 60 cents, but I only have 45 cents. I can't get the serum, and they'll have different like products, I guess, each week. I don't know how it works, like, is it every week or every month, but I believe it's each week. And those products, and it's also limited as well, because I know one time I met the criteria. I just happened to go back on the app, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna put my coins and purchase pretty much that thing, and they were like, oh, it's out of stock, it's gone. So that may happen as well, and so in that case scenario, you can't really do anything about that. So that's the only reason why I don't really have a hate towards Supergreat, but Supergreat doesn't compare to Influencer, and maybe I'm being biased, but for Influencer, I've gotten over like not even more than 5 boxes at this point from Influencer, and that's why I hype it up so much, because Influencer is a free app. I don't get commission or anything from referring you guys. It's just my referral link, but I don't get any commission. Influencer is generally an app I like. If you see me talking about it over and over, it's because I genuinely like it. Now, Influencer doesn't necessarily give you paid collabs, but what they do give you is a lot of free boxes, which I love because it allows me to not only try new products, but it allows me to give reviews to people like you guys, if you guys are interested in the product. And also, sometimes there's brands that I never heard of, and then I share it, and some people like, I never heard of this brand. So it also allows me to use my platform to also share newer brands that are probably just starting, or brands that maybe didn't just start, but we're just hearing about them that we don't know of. So that's what I personally love about Influencer. Influencer, by far, out of all these apps that I've talked about so far, while it doesn't give me paid collaborations, is by far one of my favorites, because I have gotten consistency in terms of boxes. Now, I'm not going to say, again, they're going to give you all the boxes. They can't. It's just not going to happen. Every box you can't get. But I will say that you have an opportunity to at least get a box, at least monthly, depending on, again, how Influencer is working. Not Influencer, but Influenster, like it has an S. How they're working, and dependent on how active you are. At least, again, that's just, I have a whole video on how, like, I get free boxes, so I don't want to get too deep into it. I will leave that up in the cards or description in the description box down below if I don't remember. But same story. Like, activeness is, for me, in my opinion, was how I continue to get boxes. And also, not only boxes, because you have to answer those surveys. So I get a lot of surveys. Like, I think within this week, I was like kind of shocked. But also, sometimes you don't necessarily have to be consistent all the time. Like, I'm not saying you gotta be stalking the app like every 2 hours, but just be on the app, because I feel like they'll notice you more. As well as, also for me, I think also being not just being on the app and liking other people's stuff, but also like posting stuff of yourself, so that they can see like you're on other stuff. Like, to this day, I really don't know how they have an article on like how to get boxes, but some of those stuff, I'm like, I don't think that's how I got boxes. So I don't know. I think everybody's a case-by-case basis. But for me, that's been a successful app for me. I've gotten a lot of products, hair products, skincare products. I even got some snacks. So it has a variety of stuff. Pinch Me is another one. I have a hate and love relationship with Pinch Me, but Pinch Me does give you, similar to Influencer, although it's maybe not as consistent in terms of like you're getting a box every month, but they do give you, sometimes you get product trials, and with the product trials, you're not so it's kind of like, again, not with Influencer or some of these other places where Influencer, where you may not fit that criteria, or they don't think you're the right fit for the box, that you may not get it, or the product, depending on what the product is. So I've gotten some good things from Influencer, I can't even lie. Although, like, sometimes I feel like certain boxes, like, I had been old. I didn't even reach out to them, because at the point, I was at the point where I was just like, it doesn't even matter to me. And boxes that I'm referring to is, so they normally give out what's called like a sample me box. Pretty much is samples, hence the name. And so it could be a sample of peanut butter, a sample of sunscreen. Like, I've gotten stuff like that. So sunscreen, peanut butter. It will be just dependent on what they're doing for that month and how much they have left too. Because only once a month, and it's always on a Tuesday at 12 p.m. Everybody's pretty much at the site, like, typing on their keys. And if you go there last, sometimes you may get only 2 samples coming to you, or you may get 3. Sometimes you may get all of them. It just depends on who gets on there. It's pretty much like a first come, first serve thing. Unless you win a box, because one time I think I won a box. Now, I will say in the past I was very successful with I'm gonna say Influencer, with Pinch Me, because I was like twice. I don't know. It was like by luck, honestly. I don't know, but I won. One time I won a whole Sephora 12 mask box, and the other time I won another mask box from I can't remember their name. I can literally remember the packaging in front of my face, but I can't remember the brand name. But Glow. They'll just name different things that they think that you'll be good for, and then you'll take the survey. So most of the time, I notice when they say at the end of the survey, when they say this seems like you're not the right person for this, then I know I'm not going to get the product. But when they say thanks for doing the survey, looks like you're a good fit for this, most likely I get the product. And that normally happens across the board. I've gotten a couple of skincare products, like from the Intellifluence. I got 2 products. I got some hair care products in December. What else did I get? I'm trying to remember all the other stuff. Majority of the stuff I think was like all skincare. Oh yes, I also got another like lotion, which I finished that. I actually liked it. I never went back to purchase another one, but I think it was the Dr. Zenobia skincare, the lotion. I also got that. So Pinch Me does have some good stuff, but again, it's on a case-by-case basis. It's not guaranteed that you're gonna get things from the product trial. It's more so if they think you're a fit. Now with Pinch Me, like, as far as with Pinch Me, also with Influencer, it's not recommended that, it's not a recommendation that I have to make YouTube videos. I personally make YouTube videos for at least for Influencer. Pinch Me, not so much. I used to in the past, but because again, that's for me as a source of content to get some videos out. Now, you don't necessarily have to do it for YouTube. They never ask you for YouTube, especially for Influencer, because you can't even connect to YouTube. So to answer that question really quickly, circling back on Influencer, if you do join Influencer, right currently YouTube you cannot connect at all. I don't know, maybe there's a thing where they're not linked to each other for whatever reason. They didn't have a contract to do that. So YouTube you can't link. Like YouTube's name is there, but when you every time somebody tries to link it, you're not allowed. It just is not helping. And also a lot of people, you know, they've been talking about that because sometimes people have more following on YouTube than another social media platform, but you can't connect it. So that's the only sucky part, I think, when it comes to influencer, and something to be mindful of. And that's why you never really have to do a YouTube video unless you would want to. I personally I just enjoy doing the unboxings, so that's why I do them. And lastly, because I feel like this video is long, Crowdtap. Now, Crowdtap is a bonus. Crowdtap doesn't necessarily give you free campaigns or anything like that. Although in the beginning, I used to get free like boxes, kind of like the product trial type of thing, where I would try it in different reviews. But for a while now, they've stopped doing that. I don't know why. And I saw that it was trying to come again, and then they stopped. So I don't know if they no longer have things with brands. I don't really know what happened with that. But I know in the past I got from Crowdtap, I got some hair products. Yes, I got 2 sets of hair care products twice. And that was the Suave, the whole line. I got the whole line. And then the Suave for Natural Hair line. You probably know of it because a lot of influencers have talked about it. And then I got a Tresemme line. And then after that, I never heard again about these trials that they were doing. They kind of just stopped it. Now, why am I mentioning Crowdtap? Because they're also good. Now, if you just want extra money on the side, because you like to buy things and maybe you don't want to always spend your own coins, that's why I like Crowdtap. Now, my consistency hasn't been up there since a while. I feel like when I was in college, I was really on it, like always, because what happens is it's like Supergreat in that it's a coin-based system. So once you reach a certain number of coins, I believe it's 4,000, you can cash out for a gift card. Yes. You can cash out for a gift card, and they'll tell you. So they have different ones like Chipotle, I think Target. Normally I always get Target or Amazon. If you're smart, which I should start doing, after I cash each one, letting my cash build up. So what does that mean? Like, you know, like for example, Instagram or Target or whatever, once you have an account with them, you can just put the code and they keep your money there, like it doesn't move. So if I potentially, let's say I had it for a couple of months, then I make another 4,000 coins or points, whatever, on Crowdtap, I can get another one and it builds. So like then I have a $50 gift card as opposed to me just using my $25 right away. And I think I should start doing that. So next time I cash out, I will just keep it in my account. That way, as it progresses, and then when I want to buy some stuff, I'm like, I don't want to use my money, I use my gift card. If that makes sense. But I digress. I'm not going to talk anymore. Make sure you like, you comment, subscribe if you have any questions about any of these platforms or anything else, because I may have not mentioned everything, but I tried to mention everything off the top of my head, because I actually use them. I didn't want to be like searching for what these are. I just use the top of my head from what I know and what I've seen and my experiences. So let me know down below. Make sure you like, you comment down below, you subscribe if you enjoy this type of content or you enjoyed this video, and hit the notification bell and the subscribe button so that you're notified every time I post a new video. And I'll see you guys in the next one.